News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you with us. I'm Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope. Cleveland Browns Director of Community Relations, Jenner Takancic, is here, and she's going to share information about the fall community programs with the Cleveland Browns. Later on, we'll hear from the president and CEO of UCP of Greater Cleveland, Trish Otter. She'll talk about the agency's annual fundraiser. And on the broadcast after that, Joanne Curran Doherty of Liberia Economic Development Initiative will explain why Clevelanders are coming together to help build a library in her home country of Liberia. Good afternoon. I'm Bibb on Kaleidoscope. And so we begin with Jenner Takancic, Director of Community Relations for the Browns.
Good
Jenner,
morning.
You're doing well.
I'm doing well, yes. Yeah. It's football Sunday, a lot to look forward to, and everything's going, good at the Cleveland Browns, and a lot of excitement in October.
Usually you are dressed in orange, but today you are dressed in Cleveland Browns pink, and it must be a reason for the pink.
There certainly is. We're in October, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, of course, the NFL and the Cleveland Browns are proud to bring our fans the Crucial Catch campaign that is designed to create awareness for breast cancer awareness.
So we'll see a lot of pink on the field today, on that day.
You will start seeing all the NFL games. You will see teams wearing the pink. The players have gloves. They have different attire, accessories, and you will begin to see that.
Yeah.
But here in Cleveland, what you will notice is First Energy Stadium will be lit pink to create awareness. There's actually, this year, working with the American Cancer Society, they're saying over 232,000 women will be diagnosed, or individuals will be diagnosed in the U.S. with breast cancer, and of those, 40,000 will lose their lives. So for the Cleveland Browns, it's really important to share and create awareness with our fans.
I understand the NFL has raised $8 million for the American Cancer Society.
They have. They've raised nearly $8 million through the Crucial Catch campaign, and with that, they've been able to turn awareness into action. And those funds have been turned into change grants that are put into local communities to provide resources for at-risk women so they can get the information they need. We've been able to educate over 100,000 women and then provide free screenings and exams for over 56,000 people. So it's really important, that the funds that are raised go back right into the community to help those who need it.
You keep a lot of balls up in the air, footballs up in the air, as Director of Community Relations for the Browns with all of these programs. And
exactly.
all this, but that's a good thing.
It is.
Because it's more than football on the field.
It exactly is. We have the opportunity to create awareness, and with the campaigns that we're doing, our game on October 18th, it's actually presented by University Hospitals, who's a strong partner of what we're trying to do to create awareness for breast cancer awareness. The American Cancer Society will have survivors on the field for pregame festivities. And then as fans and the dog pen are entering the gates to First Energy Stadium on October 18th, we have volunteers through our First and 10 movement who will be on site passing out pink ribbons. They're from the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority, and each year they come and they just provide free ribbons to fans so they can also wear pink if they didn't come to the game with it.
You're kind of a fashion model for us today, too, kind of modeling the pink there. And you got
the pink ribbon.
You got the Browns logo. I don't know if we can get a shot of that, but the Browns logo is right on her wrist there.
It is.
On this. Now, can these be purchased? Can we find these kinds of items?
Absolutely. You can visit clevelandbrowns.com. We have a team, our pro shop actually, but then you can go to NFL.com and you can find these pink products, as well as NFL Auction will be raising money for the Crucial Catch campaign. So if you go to NFL.com, you can learn more about that, buy some of these items, buy some of those items that were, or purchase and donate money to American Cancer Society through the NFL auction. Everything, 100% of the proceeds goes to the American Cancer Society to help with the Crucial Catch campaign and to help save lives and educate others.
Well, as they say on the Home Shopping Network, or whatever they call that, très chic, very chic.
Thank you.
It's the latest, ladies.
It's very comfortable.
It's the latest, ladies. You've got to call and got to get this.
You got to.
But it's all for a good cause. Talk a little bit about the off-season flag football clinic that you've got. What is that now?
Exactly. Well, we're talking about the First and 10 movement, volunteers, raising awareness, and really helping others. What we're also very committed to is raising awareness for the game of youth football. And the flag program really is an easy way for boys and girls to become more involved. We actually have players who volunteer their time every Tuesday, which is their day off, and get out in the community. We had 2 players that visited Charles Dickens Elementary not long ago to teach the fundamentals through physical education classes about how to incorporate flag football. It's non-contact, it's fun, it teaches competition, it teaches sportsmanship. So it's a wonderful way to get your students engaged, as well as in the local community. If you have a flag league, you should learn more about it. But what the Cleveland Browns will be doing is, once again, for the 2nd year this year, we are going to offer a flag clinic for teachers, for community organizers, to learn how they can instruct their young athletes or young kids in their neighborhoods how to implement flag football into their lives.
I mean, I'm really impressed that the NFL and the Browns and all the NFL teams, I would imagine, really have that tie to the youth and to the helmets and keeping kids safe as they play football.
Exactly.
Last time you were here, you talked about the helmet program.
The helmets program, yes. That's another wonderful program that we have for high school athletes, where if you become Heads Up certified, we've partnered with University Hospitals and United Healthcare, and together we have this partnership where if coaches become Heads Up certified to make their game safer and to make sure that everyone's instructing those best practices for their teams, then they can win $25,000 in free helmets from the Cleveland Browns and our partners that were mentioned.
Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing in the community.
Thank you so much.
That is so vital to what it's about. I mean, we want to win ball games.
Exactly.
We'd love to win 16
we do. That's
in
the
a
most
row.
important. Yes.
We'd love to win 16. That's hard to do. We'd love to win 16 in a row. But regardless of however we fare on the football field,
yes,
you're in the community making a difference in the lives of people.
Exactly. We have a great team behind us that's, in the building. Everyone supports the community mission and what we're looking to do. It's from ownership down, and every week everyone's looking forward to what's coming up with the game and the excitement of the game, but just know and understand that behind the scenes we are working hard to make sure that we're making a difference in the community.
And you bring that sense of excitement right here to the Kaleidoscope broadcast too. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
You keep that excitement going. In fact,
absolutely.
In fact, you can tell Coach Pettin and you can tell Jimmy Haslam and everybody, got to keep the excitement going.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always good to see you, Leon.
Always good to see you too. Many thanks. Jenner Takancic, ladies and gentlemen, Director of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns, and today our fashion model of the day.
There you have it.
Here on QVC. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jenner. I'll take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. We'll be right back in just a moment. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Always glad to have you with us. UCP of Greater Cleveland is putting on the Ritz on Saturday, October the 10th. It's a celebration of the Roaring 20s, and it benefits the organization. President and CEO Trish Otter is here to tell us about UCP and about the benefit. Hi, Trish.
Hi, Leon. Thank you for having us.
Oh, good to have you with us. UCP, which means?
United Cerebral Palsy.
Oh, and you do wonderful work over there.
We do.
For people who are suffering from cerebral palsy and raising money for research and all of that. That's the mission, right, of UCP?
Our mission formal mission is to empower adults and children with developmental disabilities to advance their independence, productivity, and inclusion in the community. And we do that in the form of expert pediatric therapy in our clinic for children with all types of disabilities. Our name is actually very misleading. We serve children from babies up through 22 years of age with various developmental disabilities. And then we also serve adults in work supports and helping them to find and retain employment.
We've got some pictures you brought along showing some of the things. These are some of the programs and services you offer.
Yes.
Where the accent is on helping people in a variety of ways, right?
Yes.
How long have you been over there at UCP?
I've been with the agency for 14 years, in my role for the last 7 or so.
How does an individual go about getting access to the services of UCP?
Those families who have children with disabilities are welcome to come to our doors at any time for assessments, for therapy for their children. And most of the adults that we serve actually come to us through the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities. We partner very heavily, and those are your local tax levy dollars at work in serving those individuals, and we offer those expert services.
I've got a phone number we're going to put on the screen for everything, for more information on everything we are talking about and will be talking about in the next several minutes or so. 791-8363, that's in the 216 area code, or you can go to ucpcleveland.org, ucpcleveland.org. You see that at the bottom of the screen. Where's your your headquarters? Where are you located?
Our main facility sits on Euclid and East 100th, just a few blocks west of University Circle, and we are in the heart of the Cleveland Clinic campus.
Right in what's called Uptown.
Yes.
Right in that area. It's really, really bouncing back very nicely. I love that area of the community. You're here really to talk about putting on the Ritz. If you're putting on the Ritz, you're going to be doing something wonderful.
Yes.
Tell me about what's putting on the Ritz.
We are throwing a big party at the Crawford Auto Aviation Museum. This will be our fourth and final event of the year. However, it is our first gala in many years. We are putting on the Ritz Roaring 20s and expecting about 350 people.
Now, the Roaring 20s was a little bit before my time. A little bit. It's pretty good distance before my time. Tell me now, you want people to kind of come dressed in kind of a Roaring 20s motif.
Sure.
We got the guys and we got the girls, the flappers, and
yes,
and all,
if
all
they
of
would
that.
like. Not required, as our
yeah.
invitation says, not required, but desired.
And this is going to be Saturday, October the 10th at 6 o'clock at the Western Reserve Historical Society's Crawford Auto Aviation Museum, right in the heart of University Circle, 10825, if memory serves me correct. East Boulevard
Very
is
good.
Is the address. I get over there all the time.
Obviously.
It's a wonderful place. What's the cost of tickets and how do people get in line for tickets?
Seats are $200 a plate and can contact at either that phone number or website.
And for that
tickets.
$200, you get so much. You
Yes.
get a wonderful
Wonderful
evening.
meal, wonderful drinks, jazz band, silent auction, live auction. We have a program we are honoring Miss Marilyn Cunin, who is a former board member of UCP of Greater Cleveland, had a daughter served with us at one time, and has been very supportive of us through many avenues.
Why is this important for you to raise these funds now?
Yeah, very important. We raise money to fill the gap, and we serve children regardless of their family's ability to pay. So all of the children's therapy that we do, we base upon that child's need and not what insurance or whatever will be covered. So we have quite a large gap there. We have expert therapists who really team up with the kids. In most therapies, it's one therapy on a child at a time. Here we have an occupational physical speech therapist on a child for a very intense session, and it's to fill that financial gap.
Are we making inroads in cerebral palsy research?
We don't honestly do the research at our facility. We focus more on improving their quality of life and offering those expert therapies. But the prevalence of CP has really not changed over the years. And as I said, we serve children and adults with various developmental disabilities.
You know you are life-giving for a lot of these families in more ways than one.
Yes, yes. We make a difference not only for the child, but the entire family.
That must warm your heart.
Oh,
to know what you've been there for 14 years.
Yes.
In the last several years as the president and CEO.
Yeah.
That must warm your heart, seeing what you're doing and how the dollars you raise go to helping these families.
It is a privilege to serve as this organization's leader. It really is. And 92 cents of every dollar goes to the services that we offer.
We'll just say officially, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much.
You make a difference in our lives. Once again, it's going to be Saturday, October the 10th at 6 o'clock at the Western Reserve Historical Society's Crawford Auto Aviation Museum. That's in University Circle on East Boulevard, 10825 East Boulevard. And tickets are $200, but you get so much for that $200 by making a phone call to 791-8363. You can get more information on what we're talking about.
Yes.
You can buy your tickets that way too, or go to ucpcleveland.org. Trish Otter is the president and CEO of UCP of Greater Cleveland. Thanks, Trish, for being on the broadcast. Thank you for what you do once again.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be right back in just a moment with a woman talking about building a library in Liberia after this. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. The Cleveland-based Liberia Economic Development Initiative, or LEDI as it is called, hosts a fundraiser on October the 30th. Co-founder of the organization, Joanne Curran-Darkorty, is here to explain how this event will help children and adults in Liberia. Good to have you with us, and I did pronounce that name, Darkorty.
You are 100% right. I first and foremost want to thank you for the opportunity. I'm so thrilled to be on your show. I feel honored to be a part of this great network, which is publicizing, you know, for people in the community, and giving us the platform. So thank you.
That's our role. That's what we do on this broadcast. People come in and talk about the things that they're interested in and the programs that they've got going. And I know you're here to talk about the mission of the Liberia Economic Development Initiative, or LEDI.
Yes.
What does it do? What's the mission?
Our mission is to help those who are most economically disadvantaged in Liberia, West Africa. Our motto is reducing poverty, changing lives. And we've been called to that mission out of the post-Civil War conflict that took place in Liberia that lasted over 15 years, where it devastated not only the society, but it left more than 50% of the population under the age of 25. Most infrastructure completely devastated. In recent times, most people have heard about Liberia because of the Ebola epidemic, but even before then, it was a post-war torn society. And so since 2007, we've been working having a holistic approach on the ground to empower people to have hope for life. But in most recent times, our focus has been youth scholarship and our library project.
So you've got tell me about the library project. That's part of this having hope.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me about the library you're building.
Well, literacy is one of the most key components to not only a viable life, but to any other piece of what you are to, fulfill in life. And the children in Liberia, most of the schools don't have libraries, and there is no such thing as a public library in the entire country. It's very hard for people to believe, but if you are poor with no resources, not in school, there's no place you can go to enrich yourself.
You brought a picture here. You brought some pictures
That's
here.
right, of some of the work that we've done on the ground to empower people. And so we're working to build the first modern public library to empower children. We hope that once it's built, we can have children in Cleveland mentor the children in Liberia.
Now, Liberia is your homeland. It's where you're from.
It is. It's where I was born. My parents came to the United States as international students. The co-founder, who is my now husband, Rufus Darkety, also was born and raised in Liberia, and he unfortunately lived through the entire civil crisis. And at that time, we were friends. We had a co-mission in which we decided to do something and make a difference.
Tell me about the awards and fundraiser. We've got 3 minutes going to go. The awards and fundraiser for Friday, October the 30th. Tell me that you're going to raise money.
That's right.
For all the things you just were talking about.
For our Letty Leanne Pfeiffer Scholarship Fund and our library project. On October the 30th at 5:30 p.m. at the Club at Key Center, we will be hosting an awards and fundraising banquet, which will include silent auction, a wonderful dinner, and we'll be honoring 4 visionary men and women in Cleveland who have stood with us in our organization, including President Berkman from Cleveland State University, Margaret Wong, an immigration attorney here in town, Eric Pfeiffer, who's a director with Capital Markets at Key Bank, and finally our keynote speaker and honoree Felton Thomas of Cleveland Public Libraries.
Yeah, and your Master of Ceremonies is going to be?
Oh my goodness, our wonderful Master of Ceremony is Harry Boomer, who's a Hall of Fame journalist here in Cleveland, and we are so excited to have all of these wonderful individuals on our team.
He will do a very good job for you. Harry and I were just on a program just the other day working together. Harry Boomer over Channel 19. He'll mention me over Channel 9. He'll mention me here at Channel 5, and I'll mention him. But he's a good guy. It doesn't get any better than Harry Boomer. So you're going to have a wonderful time. And that's awards dinner and fundraiser Friday, October 30th at the club at the Marriott Key Center. That's downtown Cleveland, right off Public Square. Starts at 5:30. And people can buy tickets by going to your website, right?
Yes, that's www.ledifundraiser.org or ledifundraiser.org.
We've got that at the bottom of the screen, and LEDI is spelled L-E-D-I, which means Liberia Economic Development Initiative. The LEDI fundraiser. You see the email, the address down at the bottom of the television screen, or you can telephone 577-3177.
That is our direct line, 216-577-3177.
Yeah. So it's going to be a wonderful time. And there is a tie. We've got a minute remaining. There is a tie between the United States and Liberia.
Yes.
Liberia was founded by former slaves from the United States who went back to Africa and formed a government over there, Liberia.
That is correct. Liberia means land of the free The first 7 presidents of Liberia were presidents from all over the United States, Virginia, Maryland, so many places, including Ohio. E.J. Roy, who was the 5th president of Liberia, was from Newark, Ohio.
So there's that tie between the United States and Liberia.
That is correct.
And the capital is Monrovia, named after President James Monroe of the United States.
Yes.
Okay. Many thanks for your being on the broadcast today.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
that, Joanne.
Thank you for having us, and thanks for your support, Cleveland.
Joanne Darcorti. And you were telling me before that's from the Kru tribe of Liberia, and Darcorti means?
For the people.
And you have been
Joanne for the people.
Joanne for the people. Many thanks, Joanne for the people.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the broadcast,
Thank you,
Joanne. I'll take a break. I'll be right back with Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League. When you see the Morning Exchange graphic, that means Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, who always has something interesting on her mind.
Hi, Leon. How are you today?
I'm just fine today, and you are too, I'll bet.
I'm doing well, thank you. So, you know, we're coming upon election time again. We have elections coming up in November. And I've been thinking about our role in inspiring the community to make sure that we're getting out to vote and exercising our right to vote. And this is the thought that came to me. You know, government runs the business of the country, right? We, the people, are the HR department, the human resource department.
We do the hiring.
Absolutely. And we do it by means of our vote.
Right.
So it's so important that we make sure that the candidates that are being selected represent the issues that are important to us. And the other thing that we have to understand is sometimes we feel that our vote doesn't count. We may have some apathy, but I want our community to understand when we don't vote, it's just as detrimental as voting for something that you don't want. It's just as detrimental, because if we don't cast our vote for those things that are important to us, then things that we may not want will occur, and we'll just have to deal with those issues.
If you don't vote, somebody else makes the decision for you.
Exactly.
And it may not be what you want.
Absolutely.
But if you do vote, then I always say, if you vote, then you've got a right to complain about whoever is there or whatever way. But if you don't vote, you have no complaint at all.
That's exactly right. And the other thing is, we know that in our courts, a lot of important decisions are made. And a lot of decisions are made about who goes to jail, who doesn't, what kind of sentences that they get, and so forth. Well, if we want to be on the jury, we have to be voters.
That's true.
The juries are made up of people who are registered voters.
That's where they pull the names from.
So all those things are really, really important.
That's going to do it for us. Take care.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.